Hey, what's up? Tommy here again, in front of the welcome and the smile sign. Just checking back in with you. By now, maybe you're a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or maybe you've made it to 30 days sober. If that's true, congratulations. That truly is an epic thing. And for some of you, you might be feeling what we refer to as a pink cloud, being on a pink cloud. This is this phenomenon. People in recovery talk about being on a pink cloud when they all of a sudden feel so good, better than they felt in months or years, because they've been stuck in this addictive place. And now they're like in this recovery place and it's starting to work, or at least they're starting to feel better. And I want to talk about that very quickly, this pink cloud concept. So here's the deal. When you've been doing drugs, drinking alcohol addictively, or acting out in other addictive patterns and addictive ways, it can be exhausting. We don't sleep well. We haven't been eating well. It can just be absolutely depleting to the body and the mind. Stress levels go way up, anxiety, the whole thing. Like we're really in this triggered place and we're acting out addictively. Then we get onto this path of recovery, and all of a sudden what happens, and I do mean all of a sudden, we start to sleep. Like, 8 hours a day. We start to eat. Our body recovers. We start to feel better just about the day. Like new possibilities begin slowly to present themselves. And if we're going to meetings and we're engaged in a recovery community, we might have met some people and it's felt really good to connect with people because we've been in isolation for so long and now we're not. We start to feel elevated and wonderful in this pink cloud kind of way. And there's another thing that recovers when the body and the mind recover. And that other thing is the ego. The ego starts to recover too. And the ego starts to say things like, wow, you came right back. You were down and out for a minute, and now you're rocking. It wasn't so bad after all. You were not really that addictive. Okay, things got out of hand for a moment, but hey, look at you now. Look how quickly you came back. Oh my God, you're so resilient. You're so resilient. And you start to feel very proud of yourself. You start to feel real excited, And it's like, all of a sudden, this other thought sneaks in. Maybe you don't even catch it at first, but it keeps coming. And then you catch it. And the thought is this. Since things weren't really so bad, and since you were able to come back so quickly, maybe you could return to some of those behaviors, and this time it'll work out a lot better. It'll lead to some good things for you. And this thought process creeps in, and all of a sudden you go to your next meeting. You've been going to meetings, and you're with people. And all of a sudden you find yourself in a meeting thinking, this isn't making sense to me. This isn't making any sense to me at all. Who are these people? This guy, John, who I've been hanging out with for the last month, who I thought I liked, I'm not so sure now. I don't really know. I think I should return to the life that I had before. Now, the good news and the not so good news is that you are allowed to return to the life you had before. You will be able to walk right outside the door. You know what they used to tell me in treatment when I came kicking and screaming to treatment? They said, oh, the door's open. If you want to leave here, you should leave right now, and your misery will be refunded to you right away. That was the line. And I have come to see through the experience of other people that when that pink cloud thing happens and that ego recovery takes place, that is a moment where you really, really need to batten down the hatches. You need to get to that next meeting. You need to speak to someone about all these wonderful ideas that are now floating in your head. And really, this is where the idea of surrender, meaning don't do the thing that's spinning inside your head right now, like how wonderful it would be to go to the bar. Well, I'm not going to drink, but it's just a nice environment. I'd like to hang out there for a while. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, don't do the thing that your mind is spinning up, these wonderful ideas, you know, coming right off that pink cloud. You know, many people have fallen off that pink cloud in an ugly way. So, word to the wise, you know, sometimes it's really good to have the counsel of other people. This is why we have sponsors and therapists and teachers and guides. And sometimes it's really good to say, especially when you're in early recovery, hey, I've got a really great idea I'd like to run by you. And your sponsor or your guide, your counselor, your whomever can say to you, you know, that's actually a terrible idea, and I would highly recommend that you not go in that direction. And you can save yourself an incredible amount of pain and suffering if you learn when to run some of these ideas past someone who's there to help you.